I told my boyfriend you're not putting that thing in me. My boyfriend and I, both 21, have been in a relationship for just over 3 months, and it has been a wonderful experience so far. Although we haven't had intimacy yet, a few days ago, we came close to it in his car. We've had discussions about having intercourse and what our expectations are in that regard. Since he's had previous partners, I expressed my preference for both of us to get tested before taking that step. Even though I haven't been sexually active with anyone else before, I needed to explain my hesitancy, and thankfully, he was completely understanding. He assured me there was no rush, and he was willing to get tested. He questioned why I wanted to get tested when I hadn't been sexually active with anyone else, and I explained that it would give him peace of mind, knowing I was clean. He seemed to think it wasn't necessary, and we ended the conversation there. Recent events brought up the conversation again, and he expressed relief that he had stopped things in the car because he didn't want my first time to be in such a setting. I agreed, and said especially considering we hadn't been tested and didn't have a rubber on hand. He seemed surprised by my response, and I believe he may have assumed that if he came back clean after testing, we wouldn't need a rubber. However, I emphasized that there was still a risk of pregnancy, even if I was on birth control, and he pulled out. I wasn't willing to take that chance at this point. The topic of having children has always been a challenging one for us. He really wants kids, whereas I do not. I don't see myself having children in the next 10 years because I'm focused on completing my degree and achieving financial stability. He, on the other hand, is in the process of transitioning to a higher-paying job. It wouldn't be practical for us to have children anytime soon. I explained that I didn't want to take the possibility of having children away from him, but his response was, "We would talk more in depth when the time comes, right now let's just enjoy each other." We haven't touched the topic since then. Anyway, I suggested that we could only have intimacy if he agreed to wear a rubber or consider a vasectomy. His response was, "It wouldn't be the same," and said you lost me. He expressed no interest in the idea, and I responded by saying that I didn't want to have intimacy without these precautions. He accepted my decision with a simple "that's fine," and we left it at that. I must admit that I was taken aback by his reaction because he doesn't typically respond this way. He has been distant in our texts since then, and it feels like I'm bothering him. Now, I'm unsure of what to say or do.